Welcome back to the Shelf Sisters.
Happy New Year!
Happy 2024.
25! Oh my God! No,
I'm literally one of those stupid people that can't get it right for an entire month. Okay, like my apologies. I'm sorry. 2025.
Now 2025. Are we seasoned podcasters yet? Like, can we say that after 8 episodes? No, we can't. But it is the new year.
Yes.
We are still doing Shelf Sisters podcast, and I'm so excited.
Yes, today is our bookish episode. So it's not an official book club episode, but we are going to talk about our January book club pick. And let's go through the docket of what we're going to talk about today. So first, we did an Instagram poll just to see what everyone's like January vibes are. What everyone's going for. Like, do you guys want to read fantasy or thrillers or like romance? What's the vibe? And thank God most of you guys said thrillers.
Thank God. We are so selfish, Sonia, because we wanted to read a thriller, a mystery book.
But we were literally open to everything.
We added even, what did we add on there? Fantasy on there, which I can't even say the word. Like, every time I have to make a video about this, I'm like, what's fantasy? Like, it's so hard for me to say.
I actually think in 2025, we're going to get Sarah to read one fantasy book. I think we should definitely pick one for Shelf Sisters.
Okay.
But anyway, so for the poll, let me actually share the results. So it was
overwhelmingly positive towards mystery, and
it was 62% mystery thriller, and then 19% voted for romance, 6% for historical fiction, and then 12% for fantasy. But I'm really surprised, honestly, that fantasy was only at 12%.
I feel like a lot of people are reading it these days.
That's why I'm surprised that it's at 12. But for the people who voted for romance, don't worry. Like, February's coming up. It's Valentine's Day. We're going to get into the romance vibes. And I'm actually like really upset that my current read can't be our February pick because it's so good. I'm not going to give it away because we're going to get to our current reads. But yeah, first on the docket is announcing our January book club pick. Then we're going to get into the It Ends With Us drama. And hopefully it'll end here, you guys. Like, that's the teaser.
This saga has literally continued for way too long. So I'm excited to get into it with you.
And then after that are our current reads. I'm so excited to like share mine. And then the last is our 2025 Goodreads goals and just like goals, reading goals for the new year. I had some for 2024 and I did achieve them. So I'm excited to like talk about that and then like what I want to, accomplish in 2025. And I want to hear yours because I don't know how many books you read last year. I don't know how many books you want to read this year. And yeah, so I just like, because you didn't set a goal last year.
I didn't. And I'm still upset that I didn't get the really
Goodreads
curated Goodreads email. Like, I was actually jealous because on my personal Instagram, people were posting their Goodreads curated list. And I was liking and hearting legit every single one of them. I was like, do you guys follow Shelf Sisters? Are you reading along with us? Because someone read Funny Story on their vacation over New Year's Eve, and then she put her Goodreads. I was like, this is amazing. So I love that more people are reading now, and I'm just upset I didn't get a Goodreads curated email. So for this year, the only reason I'm going to be setting that Goodreads goal is so I get that end of year email.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when
the
I
FOMO
saw
was
it,
real.
When I saw it, I was literally so happy. It's like a Spotify Wrapped, but for your reading.
And even better Wrapped. Like, I didn't know it could get better. Goodreads.
Yeah, it was really cute. It was like the shortest and longest book. Of course, my longest book was The Nightingale. My shortest book, I like literally don't even remember. I was like, I read this thing. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And then just the different genres. And it was so funny because it had a section of my 5-star reads. You guys, there's a book on there. I literally don't remember like what it is. Like, I don't remember reading it. I don't remember what it's about. I just looked at it and I was like, is someone like on my Goodreads account?
Was it a January 2024 read? Like, definitely an early in the year read if you don't remember.
I have no clue. But yeah, like I'm happy for me that I had a lot of 5-star reads. But I do want to say, okay, if you guys don't follow us on Instagram, you don't know this. But so my goal for last year was 50 and I was at 49. I didn't care. It was whatever. But then I was going through my personal list and then my Goodreads list.
Just cross-referencing both?
Yeah. And honestly, I don't even know why I was doing that because I've never done that before. But I just decided to, and I was like, let me just see if it matches up. Lo and behold, a book that I had read and added to my personal list was not on my Goodreads list. And I was so confused, so I re-downloaded it on Kindle. And thankfully it was on Kindle Unlimited. And I went to the end and it, like, you know the screen that pops up that's like rated?
Yeah.
And like I've done rereads before and whenever it comes up, it like shows me the rating that I had done last time.
Okay.
This time it was a blank slate. It was like, just rate this book. And I remember rating that book specifically because I was so torn.
Maybe you were not on Wi-Fi and it didn't capture.
Maybe, but don't you think that's like an abomination to not include it?
1000%, but also trust Goodreads, but verify. Trust but verify.
Well, that's what I'm going to do now because honestly, I was so pissed off, but then I was so happy. I was like, oh my God, like I reached my goal and... You know, I didn't have to read a novella.
You made it. So at the end of the episode, we'll go through our 2025 book goals and what we're going to set on Goodreads. But before all of that, wait, what?
I just have to say, I totally forgot, but I thought about this while we were talking about that Goodreads email. So whenever I set up my Kindle, so Shaquille got it for me.
Yes.
And he set it up and it's through his Amazon account. And I had no idea that Goodreads sent out an email after every single book that you read. Until literally months later, he told me, he was like, oh, like you just finished a book. And I looked at him and was like, excuse me, like how the heck do you know that? Because I don't share every single book I read. And he was like, oh, I got an email about it today. Excuse me? So you've been seeing all of the titles I've been reading for the past 4 months, and this was in my heavy romance phase where the covers were literally insane. And I was so embarrassed. I changed it immediately, but like the covers, I couldn't even show you as like my sister. I would never want you to see that. And like
Sonia,
here it is just being sent to my oh my God. I'm still so embarrassed. And
also for Shaquille to not tell you for 4 months. That's an invasion of privacy. I'm sorry, but
literally.
No, Kindle, Goodreads, like, please, no,
they're
that's
just doing
not
me so wrong.
They're doing you so dirty.
I think I'm actually getting red because every time I think about it, I just get embarrassed all over again. And so if you're not aware, I seriously wasn't. I had no idea they were sending an email after every single book.
Yeah.
So if you're not aware and like the Kindle was gifted to you, it's set up under someone else's account, just know they're being shown everything you read. And that, oh my God, that phase I was in, like, embarrassing. Why can't they show it to him now? Okay, after I'm reading The Nightingale,
God of the Woods. The list is just getting so much more sophisticated. And
the Alice Network,
emails, you know?
No, he saw, like, the
hockey of romance.
She's like, you're gonna make me cry. I can't. It's too much.
He was like, who do you know that plays hockey?
It's so embarrassing. Now, he was for sure like, this is why she wants to go to a Stars game. Okay, now I know.
1000%.
Which I did ask for, by the way. Anyway, I can't talk about this anymore.
No. That is so funny. The way to start out 2025. Okay, so if you did not hear that reminder, if you were gifted a Kindle, if your Goodreads account or your Kindle account is under someone else's email, change it ASAP.
Check it.
Make
sure they weren't getting the freaking emails. Okay, anyway, let's go into our January book club pick. Do you want to read it, Sarah?
Oh my God, yes. Okay, so
because
like
obviously
Sonia,
my pronunciation like sucks, and I didn't pronounce the author's name correctly.
Yeah, you practice. It's okay. Like Sonia said, we put a poll up on Instagram. If you're not following us there, make sure you follow us at Shelf Sisters Podcast. And 62% of you really wanted to read a mystery or a thriller book. Selfishly, we're super excited. So our January book club pick is The Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. And Sonia has read a book by this author because I didn't know this author. but I think we're in good hands, right?
Yeah, I read Just the Nicest Couple by her, and I remember really enjoying it. I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads.
Okay.
I honestly can't remember how it ended, but I remember at the beginning, like I remember some things in the book, and I liked her writing style, I think, and it was pretty good. Like,
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
No, and so just a reminder to you guys, we only read the Goodreads description when we pick a book. So I think from the description, it kind of gives exactly what the title is all about.
Yeah, it's basically, so, like, girl went missing and then reappeared 10 years later, and it's just about where was she, what happened to her. And I'm really excited. We actually kept seeing this book pop up on like Bookstagrams a lot.
Yeah,
and
earlier in 2024 or like mid 2024.
Yeah, like throughout the year, and neither of us read it, which I feel like we read most like thrillers that come out that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
So it's really weird that we haven't read this one. So I'm excited to just like check it off the list, and hopefully, if you're listening, I'm guessing you're a reader, and I feel like you've probably read this book. Like, it kind of made the rounds in 2024. Yeah. So that's our next
January book club pick. And also, there's so many new releases that are set for like end to middle January that we wanted to pick. But
what was it
do
called?
not worry. Alex Feeney's, or what am I trying to say? Her name. I'm totally forgetting.
I think
blanking.
You're right.
But you go on my text. There's so many books that are releasing like towards the end of January that sound truly amazing. But do not worry, because they are going to be picked for March, April, or honestly, we can even do bonus episodes for some of these books, because
just
I
not
feel
February,
like
because that's a romance
one.
But it was
February's reserved for that.
Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney.
Yeah.
And then we found out that there's also a Serafina Nova Glass, like, new book.
And you guys know how obsessed we are with Serafina.
It's coming out in February, but it's like a little too late to choose it for that month, so we'll probably do it later. But I'm so excited, and then hopefully more people will get into her, because she's literally so good. Like, I'm obsessed with her.
She's just
again
her writing
episode that we brought her up in.
No, it's every single episode, but her writing is just as iconic as her name. So don't worry, this will not be the last that we speak of her name. So
yeah.
All right, let's get into it, Sonia.
It ends with us drama.
The saga continues. Like, it just continues to give us more content. Like, and the more that I see it, I'm like, okay, wait, should my opinion change with this new information? And it really doesn't. So, do you want to give us a little rundown?
But I do want to say, so it was all over my TikTok, because I literally, a lot of TikToks now, like, I'll like it and then scroll within like 5 seconds of them. I don't really finish them. But with the It Ends With Us drama, I've literally been watching the entire TikTok. Like, someone will post a 3-minute TikTok talking about it, and they won't even be fully through. Yeah, like influencers that I know or anything. They're just random people, but I want to hear everyone's opinions on it. And it's just all over my For You page. And so Shaquille heard me listening to it, and he was like, oh my God, I heard about this. I need you to tell me what's going on, because it's kind of everywhere, and it's so crazy. Like, girls love to like talk about this stuff, but when it reaches a guy, you know that it's actually all over the internet, because they don't get stuff like this on their For You pages.
And they don't care.
Yeah, but when they're asking about it, you know that it's a crazy deal and just all over.
It's now part of the zeitgeist, and I feel bad for Colleen Hoover, because I think it's tainting her name.
Her name was already tainted, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, by herself. True.
Yeah.
But this is like in Hollywood, because she really does write books that become super popular and that could be made into movies. But I'm hoping that Verity kind of covers the negativity of It Ends With Us, because I do not think It Starts With Us, the sequel of this book, is going to be made. Like, there's no way. Never. It's never
and
coming out.
We're good on that. The book was not even.
The book, not good. So, okay, give us a rundown of what has happened so far, what is to come, and then we'll give you our thoughts and opinions. Okay, and let's see if we align.
a quick rundown, because there's just a lot, and I feel like most people know the drama, but basically, during the premiere, everyone knew that there was something going on. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, who directed and starred in the movie, they were not doing
And
press
he bought
together.
the right to the book. So
Like
he was
5
the
years
first
ago.
one to
Yeah.
like kind of grab at Colleen Hoover, and it ends with us.
Yeah, and they weren't doing press together, which is really weird. Like two leads in a movie, they're always together promoting it, and the way that they were promoting it was very different too. So they were like separate, and then separate in their like
Approach.
promotion approach and promotion tactics. And a lot of people took Justin Baldoni's side, but after the premiere, it really died down. No one was talking about it. It just kind of went away. And then all of a sudden, Blake Lively submits a complaint in LA, and you have to submit that before you sue someone. And so she submitted that, and then Justin Baldoni came back and sued the New York Times with, I believe, 9 other people. And a lot of the claims that Blake submitted, he was like attacking
He was refuting back. Yes.
but through the New York Times. So she had submitted, the New York Times had posted text messages, and they're saying Justin Baldoni and his team are saying that they were taken out of context, and those texts explain what Blake Lively was saying in her claim. So she was saying that he just kind of came in unannounced while she was breastfeeding or pumping, and he was trying to show the text message where she was inviting him to, come in, and then she was also saying that we didn't have an intimacy coordinator on set, and he was showing texts where he told her, hey, the coordinator's here, do you want to meet with her? And she said, no, I'll just meet them like on set. So a lot of different things like that. And every time like the complaint was shared, the New York Times, like Justin Baldoni suing them, like all of this stuff, whenever it comes out, everyone just like jumps ship. And then after Justin Baldoni sued the New York Times, I want to say like 2 days ago, his lawyer came out and did an interview and basically said that they will be suing Blake Lively directly, and they will be releasing all of the text messages between the two so everyone can see for themselves who was in the right, who was in the wrong, and obviously he's on Justin's side. So I'm really interested to see what other texts come out. I will say the text that Justin Baldoni released of Blake Lively, like inviting him to her trailer
while she was pumping.
Yeah, and what she's saying is that he just came unannounced, but like just because she invited him one time, we don't know what happened past that. Like maybe she invited him one time and then he just showed up unannounced like 5 times
Also, there's
later.
a difference between pumping and breastfeeding and how much is exposed. So that's also like something to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Like if she's okay with one, does not mean she's okay with the other.
But it's just like one text doesn't give you a full picture of what's happening on set. I really, really want to know like what the crew thinks, and I want that. Those documentaries where it's like a gang member and they can't show the face, so it's like an automated voice and like hiding the face. I need that to happen with these crew members.
I don't even think, the crew members, yes, but the people that were part of the movie and the fellow actors with Blake and Justin, majority of them are on Blake's side, and they spoke out when she filed the complaint, and they came out with their names, with their full like identities on social media as Colleen Hoover, which we already knew whose side she was on, but they're not shying away from like making their opinions known.
But don't you think it's a popularity contest? Like her and Ryan Reynolds are one of like the A-list couples, and she's like best friends with Taylor, and you don't want to bring her into it, but she's just such a bigger star than Justin Baldoni.
No, she's a mega house, and Justin Baldoni is like the little shack across the street. Like that's literally the comparison here.
So isn't it obvious that they would be on her side because they want like the popular person to be
like who they want to be siding with. Yes, but like you said, in some of the claims that Blake brought up and then Justin tried to refute with his lawsuit, just because you invite someone over once does not mean you are invited over while she's pumping or breastfeeding every other single time. Just because she was postpartum does not mean that you like ask her about her weight. I'm sorry. And like say that in front of...
I totally disagree.
Wait,
he had an absolute right. He has an injury and doctors will literally tell you, like when you're pregnant, they say you can't lift more than, I want to say 25 pounds or something. Yeah. So who's to say that the doctor didn't tell him, like, you have this back injury, I wouldn't like lift anything above like 150 pounds or whatever it is. No one knows that. I hate that. Like literally, if you are an actress or even with other jobs,
if it was anyone else, I would agree with this totally. Justin Baldoni, his podcast, his whole like persona in Hollywood. I know. But his persona in Hollywood is like the biggest feminist, the one who like speaks up for women and understands their emotional, like whatever it is, like that's his vibe in Hollywood and that's how he portrays himself. If you're that with it for the female emotion and your doctor has said that you should not be lifting over X number of pounds and that scene, I'm sorry, you can forego and take that out of the scene and say, I do not need to pick her up. I can simply be more affectionate towards the person in the movie. I do not need to pick you up and I do not need to ask for your weight. If it was anybody else, I would agree with you. But the fact that Justin claims that he is this guy.
So what if, like, he's obviously a creative. So I'm assuming in his mind, he was like, for the creative aspect, I really want this to be in here. And because I really want it to be in here, like, let me just see if we can make it a possibility. I think it's really easy to just say, like, that's messed up. But, like, no, I'm sorry, Blake Lively, like, you know she's not 300 pounds. Like,
no,
you are not overweight.
Yeah.
You can say, like, I'm 130 pounds or whatever. Like, you do not need to be getting so, like, emotional with that. And like I say that
from like no, I know, but I say that from like watching my friends go through postpartum, and that is like not a question that you would ask
but your friends are not an actress in Hollywood. It's so different.
It's so different. But Justin and like the way he portrays himself in Hollywood, like, I'm sorry, do not say that, like, you're with it and with the female emotion and you kind of feel for us, blah, 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 if you are not actually doing that in practice.
But at the end of the day, he's trying to make a great movie. Like, the weight thing, honestly, that pisses me off so bad because it's like...
The one part that I did not agree with that was Ryan Reynolds stepping in a cast meeting because... He's not part of the cast. He has nothing to do with the movie. He's stepping in like as her husband, which I understand, like protecting your wife, but coming into like a staff meeting, like I don't understand that. And I don't know the inner workings of Hollywood, so I don't know how appropriate or inappropriate that is. But saying from like the outside looking in, if any like business scenario, like you want to protect your wife, but you don't go into like a meeting that you're really not a part of the project.
Can we also just talk about Ryan Reynolds for a second?
Oh man. Okay.
First of all, I just want to say, when he's Blake Lively's husband, so obviously he's going to be at the premiere. When they brought Hugh Jackman to the premiere, I was like, what the F is this? Seriously. Like,
I didn't even know he was at the premiere.
Who cares about Hugh Jackman? And they're all buddy with their arms around each other like, hey, look at us. We're the cool kids of Hollywood. Like, shut up and go home. Like, Hugh Jackman, literally, what do you have to do with this project? And it's not just me. Everyone was saying,
I didn't even know that he was there. So I don't know if people saw it.
Sarish, I'm more online than you are, as are most people. Everyone saw it, and most people were like, get out of here. Like, what do you have to do with this film? Nada. Nada. Go
but
home.
aren't people invited to the premiere just to kind of put their
Not Hugh Jackman.
No,
not Hugh Jackman. No.
He's just too big for that.
That's just not something that they do. They were trying to make it into like a Barbenheimer thing because they also had Deadpool coming out, so it was like that sort of thing. But it just, I think it rubbed me the wrong way because I never once in my life like had a thought about Hugh Jackman. Okay. And like just after seeing him at the premiere, like I just got the biggest ick. Like, go home. I don't know. And then Ryan Reynolds. Okay, can I just say, when he was at his peak, what, like 2 years ago or something?
No, not 2 years ago. The Proposal was Ryan Reynolds' peak.
That was
for
not
me. For me,
for
because
you.
it's still like
Let's
one of my favorite
about
movies. Yes,
the general public.
Yes.
The general public.
Deadpool?
His peak was a few years ago. Even at that time, I literally did not see what everyone saw in him. I didn't think he was particularly funny. I didn't think he was particularly handsome. And even now, I'm like, why is this guy such a big deal? Okay, whatever. Those are just my thoughts. But like after all of this, I'm just like looking at the both of them. And even with Blake Lively, I just like really liked her outfits. But like her personality in Gossip Girl and just knowing about like the drama behind the scenes, like I never cared about like hearing her speak or anything. I just like would like to see her outfits. Now, after all of this, and like I'm really sorry if she's like actually saying the truth and like all this happened to her, like that really sucks. But I just really get the biggest ick from both of them.
Wow.
And and I also do get an ick from Justin Baldoni.
Yeah.
I tried to watch Jane the Virgin and I was like, you know when authors describe, like they're trying to describe just like the most like beautiful man on the planet and like describe all the features. I feel like they're basically describing Justin Baldoni, but like when you see it in human form, I don't know, like I'm not into it. And so I never liked him, but I don't know. I think it's just like when you're smaller in this Hollywood world, I just feel like they could so easily bulldoze him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's very hard for me to just like believe everything that they're saying. Oh, another thing. Yeah. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but the timing of Blake Lively's complaint is very weird to me because when did the movie come out? Like October or something, right? A few months ago.
Yeah. This happened during the holidays.
Like celebrity, well-paid lawyers don't need this much time to submit a complaint like this. So my thing is, like, this is, in my head, possibly a pro in Blake Lively's column because I feel like she tried to, like, slide in her complaint during the holidays. It literally happened like the week of Christmas. And I feel like she was just trying to like actually get retribution legally and didn't want too much hype with it. But this is not something that can be buried. Like if Joe Schmo was doing this, it can be buried during the holidays, but not this ends with us drama.
No.
So the timing of it was really weird. I really feel like because anything that happens during the holidays, everyone's busy, everyone has lives and things to do. And so I think she did it during that time to just like, she wanted to do it legally, but she wanted less people to talk about it, which didn't pan out. But
no. And from my side, I do not think Blake Lively is the like fully innocent here. I'm not saying that she's like the sweetest, like human, an angel. Like, no, that is not the case. Like the way that she talks about like styling herself, she does not have a stylist. Like that gives me the ick. I'm sorry.
Like the clothes that were in the movie that she was wearing, she was like, "Oh my god, they were my boots."
No, I can't.
That was my husband's sweater.
That gives me the ick. And I'm not saying that she's an angel, and there's no way that she is 100% like in the right here. But if there is even like a little bit of an ounce to like the claims that she's making and that being true and how horrendous some of the things in that lawsuit were, like, I'm sorry, Justin Baldoni, like you just cannot have that persona and put that out into the world and say that like you are so like an ally and then do those sorts of things. Yeah. But the whole like his Justin Baldoni's lawyer like coming out to say, hey, we're gonna release all of the text messages so you get the full picture. I would love to see those because right now it's like he said, she said, so the full story would be helpful. I'm just saying from the persona that he puts on to what was claimed by Blake Lively, if there's even like a 20 to 30% chance that some of those things are true, like you cannot be putting that stuff out there, you know? Yeah. And yes, like Ryan Reynolds now gives me the ick. Like he was in the proposal and I think it was more Sandra Bullock, honestly. Like I loved that movie. Yeah. And to me, that was his prime. I have never watched Deadpool. I don't think I've watched another movie of Ryan Reynolds, honestly. So I do not care for him. I understand that he's now like into business, like and investing in all of these companies and doing great. More power to him. So like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds obviously are the powerhouses in Hollywood, and I could see like why you think such a smaller party like Justin Baldoni like could get bulldozed fully out of Hollywood with this. Yeah. So hopefully there's some truth to what Justin is saying and they can kind of just like meet in the middle of it. I just like cannot believe that that's how the story of It Ends With Us turned out. And that now this is what we're talking about rather than the book, the movie. Like if people have not watched the movie and they're waiting to like read the book, you have not. No, you're never going to watch it. You're not going to watch it. And honestly, like I went to the movies with my girlfriends to watch this and 3 of us had read the book. The other one had not. So she had no idea what she was walking into. And we all thought it was great. Like I was not expecting like a masterpiece and it wasn't, but it was still pleasantly portrayed in the way that the book was written. So now you're not going to watch it.
No. And honestly, I'm one of those people like if I read the book, I can't watch the show about it. And if I watch like the movie or the show, I can't read about it. Like I have to choose. Yeah. But I want to ask you, when you were watching the movie, what did you think about the outfits and like her? Like did it blend in? Or were you and your friends, like what did they say? Were they like, what were these outfits? Like what was the consensus on that when you actually watched the movie? Because they said whenever all those paparazzi pictures came out, they were like, wait until you see the movie. Like it makes sense. And like, I don't know because I didn't watch it, but like we have similar tastes. So what did you think?
Yeah. Okay. So let me start off by saying this. We've talked about this on our podcast before on our Instagram, that writers make some of these leading ladies in their books seem so like dowdy, their fashion sense like fully like I remember It Ends With Us, like I do not remember it being that bad.
She did not say like any of that stuff in It Ends With Us. It was very just like kind of forgettable stuff like t-shirt and jeans or like that kind of vibe in the book.
Okay, well so, no. Okay, so the movie still horrendous styling.
The hair was crazy, no? I saw some clips. Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry. Like, and also her flower shop. I did not remember the flower shop being that chaotic. In the book,
she did say that in the book. You know, one of the things that she said in the book.
What was it? God, I read it during COVID. Like, I don't remember what the book.
She put flowers into a cowboy boot.
Oh, she was one of those. Okay. Yeah. No, so the outfits were still horrendous. There were some outfits where she pulled it together, but then the hair was still crazy.
Yeah,
so I'm hair. Like, what? Like, it just didn't match up.
Yeah.
And in the movie, I was surprised that a person like Ryle, whose sister was, I'm sorry, like so put together, literally in long coats, blazers. They live in Boston. Like, honestly, like structured coats, tights, pants, heels, Birkins. Like, she was so with it, and he was a neurosurgeon and like obviously surrounded by people who were so with it. For him to be attracted to someone like Lily Bloom, amazing. I'm so glad that like you're getting along with her. But the way that she looked, I could not imagine someone like him and the people that he was surrounded by being into someone like her.
So did she just take over her wardrobe? I'm guessing
no,
she didn't.
She didn't.
No,
take
but
over like Blake Lively's wardrobe. What do you mean?
No, like, because you said in the movie, like, the other characters are dressed well, like his sister and Ryle and stuff.
I mean, she has a lot of color, not my style, but like she's at least put together.
Okay, so
and Ryle, oh my god, his styling in the movie, exactly how he should have dressed. A crew neck, black, long sleeve sweater, navy pants, impeccable.
Yeah. So
he was out to get her from the beginning, I guess. Like it was not good.
No, but she chose all of that.
I know.
Did you not know that?
I know.
Then why did you say he was out to get her?
No, I know, but like I'm just saying that he let her do this. Like it was
because he alleges in his like whole thing, like in the suing process, that she said like I'm gonna dress myself, and they didn't agree with her wardrobe, but she was basically like, I need to do this in the project or else I'm basically out. Like she had a lot of demands like that.
Yeah. No, it was
like she said in the middle of production, if we don't do this, I'm out. You can hire someone else, and that would have bankrupted the film.
Exactly. Yeah, you're losing so much money at that point.
Like he just had to let her do it because that's what she wanted.
Mm-hmm. No, the outfits were really, really terrible. There's some that looks like she pulled together, but then the hair and makeup still like were chaotic. So,
but what I'm getting from you saying everyone else dressed well is that she just took over for herself.
And she knew that stylist really badly.
And that's just so crazy because it's like you wanted so hard.
And honestly, like during the promotions, when she did the promo for the book and she was like in like all the floral gowns and stuff like that, why couldn't she have done that in the movie? Like,
no, some of them were bad.
I know, but some of them were like good. Some of them were good. Like, so she could have done that. Like, why?
Yeah,
you know?
But it's just like, because during the promos, remember, she was like, I remember there were like a specific pair of boots that TikTok was going crazy over, and she was going to a party and they were Louboutin booties.
Oh,
and
no,
one of the things was like, because she was like, they're my boots. And I think one of the things during production was like, would Lily Bloom really be wearing, because the retail price of them, it was more than like $2,000 or something. So it's like, is her flower shop like doing that well to where she can spend $2,000 on booties?
Also,
like,
if she was bringing like her wardrobe together, she could have just bought like the Louboutin Socates that she like loves. Like, please just bring those on the set. You don't need to wear this booty that's $2,000. Bring the Socates that are $1,000. Like, we'll be okay. But she didn't. So
yeah,
whatever. I'm gonna honestly. No, I can't. Like, I can't even think about her wardrobe anymore because it's gonna make me cringe even more. So
I just love it because like we love fashion and stuff, and so it's just so interesting. And I don't like, even in the press tour, she in her previous red carpets and like the Met Gala and stuff, she would always have the most bomb outfits. Even if they were out there, like everything still went. And I just honestly wonder like what happened, because even during the press tour, like, okay, this is what you thought the character would be, like whatever. But like you dressing as yourself, like I remember there was an interview where she was saying like, you know, this is not how I dress in like my real life, but because I have to like talk to so many people, this is kind of like shields for me. And the outfit that she was wearing, and she even like pointed it out like this, and she was like, you know, it's like loud and like that's what I have to be today. And that outfit was literally one of like the most horrendous things I've ever seen on Blake Lively, and she's literally she's gorgeous,
so beautiful. She's tall. She like has that statuesque like.
Yeah, but even if we don't like those outfits where she's like on press tours, like they still make sense. Yeah, no, but it's like she's doing that for herself, and like props to you for not having a stylist and like putting it together. Like if we don't like it, whatever. But like as a film, like you do have to do it based on the character. And so
I lost all trust in her styling when I saw what she wore to the Super Bowl in 2024.
I didn't think that was so bad.
Oh my god, there was so much happening. It was like she was channeling Lily Bloom at the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
like trying to do Lily at the Super Bowl.
It kind of worked for me.
No, oh my god. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm excited to hear what Justin Baldoni's lawyer comes back with. I want to see all the receipts because I think a full picture will do all of us some good.
Yeah, but I do
not
want
go
to
like
say
shifting on either side.
Yeah,
because
but
right
like
now that's what's happening.
The worst part of her claims to me is him like Justin Baldoni speaking as himself. In a specific scene, I can't remember what it was, but like while he was in character, he was speaking as himself, and she found that really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he would spring up scenes like, oh, like we should kiss here, like we should do this here, and she didn't like find that comfortable.
They were not in the script.
I think that to me is the craziest part, and if that is true, like that is really creepy. And I hope it like didn't happen, but if it did, like I hope that she gets justice or whatever. I just said like my piece because I think when you're that powerful, it's really easy to just, and her reputation, I'm sorry, was so tarnished after this tour that it's almost like she might be doing this to like strike back and say, no, like I had a reason to do all of this, you know?
And I'm very surprised that people went so against her because who is Justin Baldoni? Like, what has he done aside from Jane the Virgin? Like, I don't know, and I really didn't know of him, and so the fact that people took his side so much, oh my god, this is the craziest thing. So before all of this like drama happened, we knew there was weirdness. I love Aaron and Sarah Foster's podcast. You guys, I'm literally the biggest Aaron Foster like fangirl here, but their podcast, World's First Podcast. Oh my god,
that's what it's called.
That's what it's called. It's so funny because they're funny. And they did an interview with Justin Baldoni because Sarah, the older sister, was going through a separation at the time, and she loved how like vulnerable he was in the podcast. Ew. But she wanted to have him on, so they interviewed him. Also, I didn't listen to this episode because I didn't care for him, but it was impeccable timing. It was maybe the episode was released maybe 2 days after all of this like news broke out of like how weird the set was, and they did not ask one question about it ends with us, Blake Lively, the drama, his rights to the book, zero.
What did they talk to him about?
Sarah literally talked about male vulnerability.
Oh, yikes.
Okay, yikes. But I just thought it was the funniest thing. Like, no one would have such impeccable timing and not use it to their advantage, except for Aaron Sarah Foster.
Well, they didn't know, so that really sucks.
They didn't know, and I also don't think they care. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
But it was the funniest thing.
I think that's that on that.
That is that.
Until, like, Justin Baldoni's lawsuit
to digest. Yeah.
To, like, Blake directly comes out, because his lawyer said that that's what they were going to do. So I think that's probably the next part of the saga.
And if Blake filed the complaint, because that was the first step to like her filing the lawsuit, I'm sure that is also coming, because there's no way she is going to step down now.
Yeah, but I heard that after the complaint, it apparently only takes a week for them to say like if you can sue or not, and it's been more than that. So I'm just wondering like where is it at? So I don't know, but let's see.
I'll consult my lawyers this week and figure out like what's happening and what we should be looking out for.
Okay, let's see what's next. We talked about it for so long, I forgot what we were supposed to talk about for the rest of it.
Well, our Goodreads goal.
No, our current reads are next. Oh my god, I get to talk about my book. Wait, Sarah, how about you share your journey?
So, I love starting the year off on like a really, really good book. And I told you guys last week that I was reading Lady Tan. And
Lady Tan's Circle of Women?
Of Women, yes. 15th century China. Let me tell you, I'm learning a lot. But let's just say I used the last week of 2024 to rot, literally rot, and I never do that. And I
Is
didn't
reading
want to learn.
not part of your role? Okay,
it is.
Gotcha.
But I did not want to learn. So.
What did I tell you?
I know.
When you announced this last time, I was like,
what was I thinking? What was I thinking?
So few days off of work, and this is what you're going to read.
Yeah.
You don't listen to me. Like,
No.
you don't take my recommendations. Like, you don't listen when I say you're not going to like this. And here you are.
Yeah. Okay. So I will finish it for you guys. But
you don't have to DNF a book if you don't like it.
No, I shouldn't DNF
but
it.
Why didn't you? I'm not even letting you finish. Sorry. But did you pick up another book because you didn't like that one during your running time?
No, because I didn't want to admit defeat. That is my toxic trait, honestly.
You could have always started.
Flip-flopped. Yes, I know.
Or started, finished that, then went back to Lady Tan.
Yeah, but did I? No, I didn't.
Okay.
I organized my closet instead. Or by organize, I mean clean out my closet, because I apparently had shirts from at the end of college. I don't understand. They went through 4 moves and still ended up in my home. I don't know how. So I cleaned those out. That's what I did instead. And then just, went out to eat a lot. And yeah, just hung out. So instead, I will be finishing that in 2025 in January. And after that, I will be starting the Alice Feeney book. Why are you looking at me like that?
Alice Feeney book. What about our January book?
Oh, that. But I have a feeling I'll get to all 3.
Okay. So
I'll get to all 3.
Are going to finish the Lady Tan.
I'm going to finish Lady Tan for you guys so I can give you a full recap of my rating on it.
I'm really excited for your recap because I'm never going to read that book, so I want to take away your learnings.
Yeah. And honestly, it may just have been the setting and the headspace that I was in, because my brain was so fried and I just did not want to consume any more knowledgeable and applicable information that I could use later on in life.
You wanted a rom-com.
No, literally, I needed another book.
My hockey romance book, that's what you needed.
And no one would be judging me because it would be going to my email.
Oh my god.
So, yes. But that'll be my 2025 first book that I finish. And then I'll read our December book club pick. And then I'll also be reading Alice Feeney's book. And another terrible thing happened to me at the end of December. I got a notification that my Austin Public Library card was finally expiring.
Oh no.
The way I freaked out, and I think I got this notification a day before I left for Austin. So should I just stop by the downtown library? And then I realized I no longer have a resident address in Austin, so I can't do that. So I'll be going to the Dallas one to get a new library card. And honestly, I'm very upset about it. I love getting into the Libby app and seeing welcome to the Austin. It was the only thing tying me back to Austin was my library card.
Have you been to the Dallas library?
The Highland Park one is the one that I'll probably go to because the other ones are sketch. If you've been...
Are you allowed to get a card from there?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I have a Dallas,
Oh, okay. I'll get one too, because you know what? I didn't
How about we go together?
I'm so down, but I didn't realize that you could add multiple cards on there until a few months ago. I saw people on TikTok. They have 7
on
cards.
Libby?
Yeah, they have 7 cards on Libby and can hold 50 books. And also every library card has a different amount of holds that you can do. So
how much does your have?
7.
Yeah,
but
mine has 7.
I have a Plano library card.
Yeah.
I have no idea when it expires. So I do want a Dallas one. So they'll
Let's go
just
together.
overlap. I'm
Perfect.
so down.
Okay, we're gonna be doing this, but I was very upset.
And I need more than 7 holds. 7 is not enough.
Yeah. Also, I think next podcast will kind of give you an overview on Libby. Actually, let me just do it now. If you have a library card, even if you don't have a library card, but you want to rent Kindle, ebooks,
you can do
all
it
of that.
without a library card?
No, please go get a library card and sign up for Libby, because you are able to rent all of your books, all of your ebooks for free. You do not need to pay for Kindle Unlimited. You do not need to buy books. You just place them on hold. Most of the time, if it's a popular book, if we're picking a book, it's most likely a popular book. But you can put it on your holds and then get it for free and then read it and then return it back. So
if you're an avid reader and you buy books, like it really
it's
stacks
so
up.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's so expensive. It's an expensive hobby if you're continuously buying books. So this is something that I got into during COVID after I was gifted my Kindle. I got Libby and then I introduced all of my friends to it. And to this day, I think that's the one thing that everyone still thanks me for is getting them on Libby, and it's changed lives.
For that.
Yes,
changed
yeah.
my life for sure.
And so Sonia was also like a physical book reader, and then when Shaquille got you your Kindle, I was like, it is now finally time for you to get Libby.
And I didn't listen for
a full year.
Yeah.
A full year. And guess how much money she could have saved?
Well, honestly, like
maybe
when
like
I first
one
got
Reformation
it,
top, it's fine.
No, but like when I first got my Kindle, I signed up for Kindle Unlimited, and a lot of the books that I was reading were on Kindle Unlimited.
But now the books that you're reading will not be on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm about to cancel my Kindle Unlimited because I don't read those books. So what do I have it for?
I do,
you know?
I do. I read like Anna Wong, like that. She's on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, she's okay. All right. Well,
yeah.
So that was my PSA for everyone. Please get Libby. Get your ebooks for free. And
also it's not just ebooks, it's audiobooks
too. Yes, audiobooks. And also if you listen to our episodes on Spotify randomly has audiobooks for free. God of the Woods, our November book club pick.
They're all locked for me.
Is on Spotify as an audiobook. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you
just check it.
But
yeah. Because
it's locked.
Oh, it's locked. Okay, well, The Heiress was definitely like playing on there, so I thought they were all like available, but some of them are on Spotify, so check Spotify, check Libby if you want to read it or get an audiobook from there. You do not need to be like making this an expensive hobby if you don't want to. So that's my PSA for everybody. And I'll report back on Lady Tan and Sonia. Now for more exciting. I'm excited to hear what you're reading.
Okay. I think we need to, this is a new segment for our show.
Okay.
I think we need to call it like Sonia's Stupidity. Because like why I wait 10 years to read viral books, I will never know. Just like Where the Crawdads Sing. Like literally so
I see it on your Kindle right now.
You saw the title?
Yeah. Okay, so say it.
Okay, so.
Because this is very old.
It's so old but it's so good. Okay, it's called The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And it literally, I'm sure, like, if you just heard me say that title, you're probably rolling your eyes like, duh, bitch. Like, everyone knows this book. But let me tell you, I obviously had seen this book everywhere.
COVID? Like, how
it
old
went
is this?
viral, I want to say, like, before COVID, because I think the movie came out during COVID.
Oh, my God.
And let me tell you, I have two reasons why I didn't pick up this book.
Yes.
Actually, there were multiple. One, every time I saw it on my Kindle, it was never on Kindle Unlimited, and I never felt the need to like go out of my way and like
to purchase,
buy it, or like go do a hold on Libby or anything, because I knew it was a workplace romance, and I'm not interested in workplace romances unless it's like a boss and an employee
and a billionaire. Okay? Like no,
literally, that's what I'm saying. And this one, like, it's like coworkers, and when I saw that, I was like, okay, like whatever. And also, so a movie came out, I believe it's on Hulu, and the girl is Lucy Hale, and I am not a Lucy Hale fan. Like, I know a lot of people like her, whatever, but like,
what was she in?
Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, yes, okay.
And her character in Pretty Little Liars just like pissed me off. Having an affair with Ezra, her teacher, when she was a high school student, literally so insane. And she's like, but mom, Daddy, love him. Like, shut up, okay? And so I didn't like her. And then, like, I'm sorry, like when she got the bob haircut and she's in the movie with a bob haircut, I just can't do them. And I need, you know, whenever you read a book, like, you just picture like the best looking people, or else like why would you want to read about them? Like, so like when I see that in the movie, I'm like, this is not like the girl for me. Honestly, I don't even know what the guy looks like. It's just so like irrelevant to me, because when I just saw her, I was like, I'm good. So that's another reason it just turned me off from the book. But I had DNF'd like 5 books in a row. Nothing was working for me. And I was going through, it was a list of, you know, on Kindle, it's like recommendations, whatever.
Yeah.
So I was going through one of those lists and I saw The Hating Game and it was on Kindle Unlimited. It's like, oh my God, like I've never seen it on Kindle Unlimited before. And I've already DNF 5 books. Like, what's one more? Because I was just assuming I wouldn't like it. And Serge, when I tell you, like, this book literally is already 5-star read for sure. Possibly the best romance of my year, and it's January.
Wait, okay. I DNF'd it in 2%. Do I need to go back?
You 1,000% need to go back. It is so good. And listen to me and hear me when I say the banter better than Emily Henry. I was dying.
Wow.
Like, oh my God, the tension. Like, I felt it so much. I was like inching closer, like to my Kindle while reading.
I have goosebumps on my face
and
because
like,
Sonia never says this about the banter.
It was so good. Like the girl and the guy, they're both so witty and just like come up with remarks like so quickly to each other. And they just have these like games that they play with each other. But it's like just the writing is so good. Like if someone, because I didn't pick it up because of the plot. I was like, this is not a book for me. If any other writer had written it, like I wouldn't be into it. But this writing style, oh my God, Serge, oh my God, it's so good. And I know this is so dumb of me to recommend The Hating Game. Like, yeah, we know.
No, but it's not that it's dumb. It's that you're now doing it like 6 years too late.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Like, so this is the segment. Like, Sonia's stupid. Like, read it the first time around. But whatever.
Also, if it's going... Well, no. I was going to say if it's going viral, it's going viral for a reason, but there's so many books.
That's so not true.
That's not true.
It's not true. And we've learned that way too many times.
Yep. And the hard way. There's some books I finished and I'm like, why did I just waste 6 hours on this? It was not necessary. So, okay, I'm glad.
But this book, I really hope, and I don't think it will, like, take a turn for the worse. I'm, like... almost 30% of the way through, and I literally don't want it to end. Like
you're only 30% of the way through?
Yeah, I just started it 2 days ago.
You're saying that this is going to be the best romance of 2025?
It's so good.
Wow, that is a bold to say in our first episode.
No,
okay, so I'm going to clip this back in December 2025, and we're going to see what you say.
Love. Like, so happy, so excited. And
I need to close my mouth. That was too
much. I'm just so happy because, you know, it's so hard. And when I tell you, I think I have the title of like the book that I DNF'd before. It's so crazy. Of course, it was a book talk recommendation called Papers Don't Lie by Maeve Hazel. And then Crossroads by Devney Perry. Oh my God, another DNF. Do you remember... If you guys follow us on Instagram, I storied that on Libby, I got A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. And her book, One Day in December, I recommended. This book was so bad. Like, so bad I DNF'd, okay?
So if you follow us on Instagram and you were taking that rec, please don't.
No, and I'm going to post a story about it, explaining why, which is the whole book was, and I would have bought it, but the description, like, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good. And, you know, I would kill for gelato, right? Like, lay my life down on the line for gelato.
Only for chocolate gelato, but yeah.
Absolutely. This book was all about a gelato recipe. Like, could not care less. And she was like, I don't know. I have this gelato recipe. I don't know if I should share it with him. Oh, my God. It was so dumb, Sarah. She's like, I can't believe it's the same author that wrote One Day in December. Literally, like, what happened to her?
Wow.
So, like I said... So many DNFs. What's another? But I'm so happy I picked it up. I literally don't know like what I'm gonna read after this. I'm gonna have such a
you're gonna read our December book club pick.
Yeah, but like I know the entire month of February I'm gonna be trying to find romances because it's like you know, Valentine's Day mood. And I'm gonna have such a hard time. But I'm gonna see if she's written other books. And I'll try those after, like, our January book club pick. But, yeah, like, if you have not read this book, please pick it up and tell me if you like it. So I'm so excited. Like literally can't wait to go home and read it.
I love that. Okay, well for 2025,
and
our
then
goal.
Goodreads goal. And goals in general. How many books did you read last year?
Okay, so I think I got to 30 books last year, which is so low for me. Like I cannot, but it was a busy year, so it's fine. But I think that's the least amount of books that I've read in since COVID, so the last 4-ish years. I'm not saying I'm disappointed in myself, but let's just say this year it will be better. And I'm going to put it at 40. I'm still not going to do anything higher than that because I think...
That's a lot.
Yeah. 40 is going to be good. I think the second year that I started reading, it was like the max for me was like 75. And I'm just saying with a full-time job and then teaching yoga and then also doing this, like let's just say I don't have time. That's enough for me. But no, 40 is what I'm going to set Goodreads at.
Okay.
And then in general, like the types of books that I'm reading, I think we did this well in December, is I'm not going to judge the books by their cover.
Oh,
that is going to be so hard for me.
Yeah.
But
you never learned that lesson.
No, I did learn it in December because of our book club pick. And I think because of Shelf Sisters, I'm going to actually like do it and not judge. I'll judge, but I'll listen to you and I'll read it. Perfect. Is that the trend? Did I say that right? We listen and we don't judge.
I think so. Yeah. Good job.
Oh my gosh.
But you didn't say it in that incantation, so I didn't realize you were saying a TikTok song, or else I would have joined in. But
okay, yeah, I tried. That was my first one.
Yeah,
no, but
I think that's a great goal.
Yes, I think that's what we're gonna work towards, and very surprising, exactly. And if I say that I'm judging a book, or if I'm even remotely insinuating that, please call me out.
Okay,
call me out. And yeah, I think we're going to pick some great books in 2025 though. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Okay, perfect. So my Goodreads goal. So last year it was 50. I already mentioned I did hit that by the skin of my teeth. And last year my goal was to read more books of substance because I primarily had just been reading like romances, and I was getting kind of bored and they were getting stale because it was the same story over and over again. But also it was getting like really hard to find them. I think I've basically read like 90% of the good ones now.
Yeah.
And I just like have to wait for new ones to come out so I can read more. So I really wanted to read more like historical fiction books and like more thrillers to just like expand my genre and just have more books of substance. Like a lot of my historical fiction books were about World War II. And I don't even know if like I know one of them was inspired. I think The Nightingale is inspired by like a true story or something. But the other ones, I don't think they were. It's just like the general World War II. But I feel like whenever you're reading about it, you get more of a feel for them. And
I like reading it from different perspectives. Like the things we leave unfinished right now. Like that's the one that I remember just like on the top of my head. But I like reading it from like every like different angles because everyone has their own perspective.
Yeah. So. Like I think one of the ones that I read, it was after World War II, and because a lot of the ones that I read, it was in the U.S., but it was after World War II. There was a group of people trying to find the like, oh my God, what's the word? Like the people who committed the crimes during World War II. Yeah. They were trying to find them and have them like go through trial and stuff. And so it was a lot about that. That was so different than like the other World War II books that I read because those were, you know, in Poland or like somewhere in Europe.
And the story was kind of like going embedded.
Yeah. But this was like post-war, and a lot of the people it was talking about like in the US, like you don't ask anymore, like, what side you were on. Like, everyone was just trying to get on with their lives.
Yeah.
But then there was this group trying to bring it back and, like, gather these people. Oh, it was about the Nuremberg trials. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it was
I don't think
so
I read this one, but okay.
I'll give you the title of the book. It was, like, really good looking back at it, but it was kind of slow when I was reading. So, like, I don't know if I fully recommend. But yeah, looking back, like, it was really interesting. And just like the trial, I kind of want to, if you guys have recommendations, I want to read another book on the Nuremberg trials. That was really interesting, and how they catch the people, and they worked really hard. Like, they didn't have a lot of, like, financing. And so they had to get that to, like, literally go out and catch these people living in different countries and stuff, because they would go into hiding. So it was hard, especially in that time. Like, there's no internet. And so it was
that's
hard.
what I was going to say. It's so much harder, like, back then to kind of, it's easier to do the crime and just kind of get lost in the shuffle and, like, no one knows about it, but to actually go back and, like.
Also, this book, it was actually, and you would think it's, you know, male prison guard or whatever, but it was actually, like, a woman that did war crimes and helped a lot with them. So that was crazy in and of itself.
See, yeah, like, other perspectives. Like, I love that.
So
I think that'll be, that's like a good continuation of the goal, is to expand your genres, the horizons and the perspectives that you leave about. No,
I didn't finish exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I definitely do want to read more books. Like, again, like, I want the Nuremberg trials. I love World War II books, things like that. But I think last year, like, every time I picked up a book, I was like, okay, is this a book of substance? Like, that was my question for every book. This year, my thing is to not have a goal. Besides my Goodreads goal, I literally want to read, like, whatever I want, whatever I'm in the mood for, and not judge myself based off of that, because it was getting really heavy, you guys. It was like World War II, Where the Crawdads Sing, and just, like,
do you feel like it affects your, like, day, your mood? Because in my brain,
it
feels darker. Like, that's all I can think about. Like, it's all consuming at some point.
Especially with the thrillers. Like, I start to get scared sometimes, creeped out, and then every time I pick a thriller, I have to make sure it's not something that, like, is in my world.
Yeah,
that
like, remotely could happen to you. Like, it has to be so far removed. And then once a thriller is done, I need to read a palate cleanser and just, like, move on to my life. So I get it. Okay, I like that.
So I don't want to bog myself down with a goal like that, but I just want to read, like, whatever I like and not give a crap about if it's going to teach me something. Like, whatever.
No, for sure.
So
I love that.
So that's my goal. And then for my actual Goodreads goal,
what do you
right now, I have it set at 30, but I don't know if I should increase it, because honestly, I've been reading really slow. I feel like maybe I should do 42.
Yeah. I think it's, like, a good balance.
I honestly don't know if I'm going to hit 50 this year. Like, I really don't
know. I'm okay with not. I think I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm okay to DNF any book that I no longer, like, find valuable. Like, even if it's like, I don't care if it's of substance any longer, but if it's not exciting, fun, or just, like, bringing me
a lot.
Yes, I know, but at this point, I don't care. Like, I don't want to waste my time.
I'm going to hit 50. I don't know.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll still try to, like, read whatever you enjoy.
But I really do. I want to set it at 50, because I feel like 40 is just, like, so low, but then it's like, so is 30, and I did that. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I will raise it. And I will raise it to, oh my gosh, should I do 40 or 50? I'll decide on the pod. What do you think I should do? 40 or 50?
I think you can even set it at 50, but in your mind, you're, like, okay with not hitting it, which is what you did this year.
We're such twins. I was thinking the same thing. But
I love that, and I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for 2025. Are the books that we're gonna pick on Shelf Sisters. Yes. Again, if you're not following us on Instagram and TikTok, it's Shelf Sisters Podcast on Instagram. and Shelf Sisters on TikTok.
And then I just want to say our January book again. It's Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica.
Yeah, and when does that episode come out, Sonia?
Great question.
It's towards the end of January, so you guys have a couple of weeks to read it.
This, I think, should come out January 9th, so that one should be coming out January 23rd.
Yeah. So catch us back around the end of the month. Let us know what you think about the book, what else you want to read. Of course, February is going to be kind of in the romance genre, most likely. And then we'll kind of see what we feel for this spring.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you guys so much. Happy 2025. Happy New Year. Hope you had a wonderful holiday season. Now we're back to work, back in action, and things are looking up.
Yep. Excited to read more books.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See ya. Bye.